Hi modern fashion designers, you're welcome back to class. This is Modern Woman Apparel. I want to specially thank all my returning subscribers, and if this is your first time here, please feel free to join us by hitting on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so as to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you. So guys, in today's class we're going to be learning how to draft a bustier bodice with double keyhole. So at the end of this class you're going to be learning how to tighten your yoke in order for you not to have gaping around the keyhole. And that is basically the essence of this class, to show you how to properly tighten the yoke in order to eliminate gaping around your keyhole area. Now this pattern, you can use it for your gown just like the picture you see here, and you can also use it for your top. In this class you'll also be learning how to draft a bustier top with keyhole and back waistline. So my modern family, today's special hug goes to C, and she wrote, "I'm glued to your channel. This is actually my go-to YouTube channel. Love, kudos." So dear Tusi, we want to say thank you so much for sticking with us, for always returning to the channel, and for being a part of us. We love you so much. So guys, if you want us to give you a special one hug in our next tutorial, please do not forget to drop us a comment. So without wasting much of our time, let's get right into the tutorial of the day. So as you can see, my paper is on fold, but you do not need to put your paper on fold. A single piece is okay. My paper is on fold just for the purpose of this tutorial. Hope you understand. Right now I'm going to put all the necessary measurements and we'll continue. So this is my starting line here. This is 10.5 for the bust point line. This is 14.5 under bust line. This is 18 inches for my front waist length, and I'm using 24 for my top length. Remember that you're using your own measurement, so go ahead and take your accurate measurement. Now what we are going to do is to, on this starting line here, I'll take the shoulder divided by 2. I'm working with shoulder of 16 divided by 2 is 8, and I'll come down here by 8.7 for my chest line. That's the armhole depth. Now how did I get this? I got it by dividing my bust circumference by 6 plus 2.5. Now note that our armhole measurement is still the same as bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. Then we are adding additional 1 to it for shoulder slope, and that is why we are dividing by 6 plus 2.5. I'm doing this explanation again for the sake of the new people that joined us. I know I have explained this before in our previous videos, but I'm still going to explain it again. You can see the comments that one of us dropped. To get your armhole depth, it's still bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5, but we made it 2.5 because we are adding 1 inch, and that 1 inch is for shoulder slope. For those of you that are using 1 inch, you agree with me that before you do your bust circumference divided by 6, before you get your armhole length, what you normally do is to come down here by your 1 inch before you start here to measure, right? That's bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5, and you can see I still have my 7.75. Here is 7.7. Now if I add this extra one here to be 8.7, so that is why I'm taking bust circumference divided by 6 plus 2.5, because I'm starting my measurement from here, not from here. Do you understand? So having said that, I'm also going to take my shoulder divided by 2 to make sure I have a straight line, and I will connect this way. And so the next thing I'm going to do now is to get my basic neckline, which is 3 inches. Divide your bust circumference by 12, and here for the front we are using 1.5 for the shoulder slope, and we just connect to this. Note that it is not compulsory that your neck width has to be on the basic neckline. You can still alter this, but the basic neckline is a guide for you, so that when you want to alter it, whatever that is going beyond your basic neckline will not start from here, and by that way you have already eliminated part of the gaping that would have been on the neckline. So you understand further when we get to the neckline part. So for this, we are not making use of a round neck, so I'm going to be leaving the depth this way. Now what I'm going to do is to come up here by 3 inches and go in by half an inch, and on this part here, the bust, and on this chest line here, I'll divide my bust circumference by 4. I'm using 37 divided by 4 is 9.25, and I'll go ahead and connect my armhole curve. So after connecting my armhole curve, what I'll do is to take my bust span divided by 2. So I'm working with 7.5 divided by 2 is 3.75. I'll take it all the way to the hem of this top. So 3.75 here, and I'll connect with a straight line. So what I'll do is to go to the underbust here and take 0.75 on this side and 1.25 on this side, making it a total of 2 inches. So if you are yet to know the correct amount of that needed for your own underbust and overbust tightening, I will advise that you watch this tutorial. We have already treated, so you can see the picture on the screen. Please locate the tutorial. Also be leaving the link on the comment section so you can check it out. On the waistline, I will impute the same thing here, and also on the hemline. Now this works in 2 ways. You can decide that you just want it to be on the waistline and on the underbust, and you go up here by at least 1.5 inches and connect this way. But I want to take my own dart all the way to the hemline, so I'm taking the same 0.75 on this side and 1.25 on this side. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is to determine my cup height. So we have already treated how to determine your cup height. To do that, all you need to do is to put your tape under your bust, and from under your bust go up. Now ask your clients where they want this bustier, where they want the bustier part to cover. If you still do not understand, please check the comment section. You find the link to the class. But all you need to do is on your customer, your client, just place your tape this way on their underbust and take it up. Let them point where they want the cup, the bustier part to stop before the yoke part. That's how to take your cup height. So for this, I'm going to be using 7 inches for the cup height this way. So this is the 7 inches for the cup height. So I'm just going to reline this way. And next thing I'm going to do is to divide. So what I have here, from here, I'll divide from this here to here. I'll divide what I have, and on the midpoint, I'll make a mark there and connect back to the bust points this way. Can you see? After that, I'll tighten. So I'll tighten the overbust. So this is the overbust this is where you are taking your overbust, that exactly on your cup height. So here I'll go in on this side by 0.75 and on this side by 0.75, and I'll connect. If your client is very busty, please do 1 inch on this side. But moderate and small, 0.75 is okay. Can you see? And also connect here. Please take note of how I'm placing my curve ruler to avoid having a sharp edge. So this line that we have here on this our cup height line, which is also the overbust line. So let me use my pencil to just highlight it. So the next thing we are going to do is to get the neckline for the bustier part. So it depends on how you want this part to be, the style line you want to give to this part. If you want it straight, so like this, you can see the picture we have on the thumbnail. If you want it straight, please do not leave it straight on this line. Come down here by at least ½ inch. So you can do half, you can do 0.75. I always use half. So come down here and connect it back this way. Connect it back here to this dark leg. Can you see? Just connect it back this way. Do not use this straight one. Now if you want the sweetheart, all you need to do is to determine the cleavage depth. So you have to measure the cleavage depth of your client. So you determine the cleavage depth. So for here, I'll just come down from this cup height by 1.5. Remember that it depends on what you want, how deep you want the sweetheart neckline or the sweetheart style line to be. So let me highlight it with my marker pen. Can you see? So what I'm going to do now is to start taking my measurements. We'll come back to this yoke part later. So we already have our bust divided by 4 here. So what we are going to do is to check on that line, on this chest line. We are going to check the dart we have there. So we are going to replace it here. You replace it from the chest line down. Note that you're not replacing this. Don't replace what you have here. You're tracing what you have on this line from here. You are replacing it. So I'll come to the underbust. I'm working with 31 divided by 4 is 7.75 plus 2 inches for that. Here I'm working with 30 divided by 4 is 7.5, and I'll replace the 2 inches for that. And here I'm working with my upper hip measurements, exactly where the length of this is. If the length of this top is not getting to your hip line, please do not use your hip circumference. Exactly where the length of this top is, that is where you will take the circumference. Do you understand? So the circumference around where this top is 38, and 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. So this is my 9.5 here. And I'll replace the 2 inches dart. The next thing I'm going to do is to connect. And after that, I'll take my bust dart. So the bust dart is the difference between your front waist length and your back waist length. I'm working with 18 for the front and 16 for the back, which means that the difference is 2. So from this bust point line here, I'll take 2 inches here and connect. Can you see? So the next thing for us to do here is the back waistline. But before we do that, remember I told you that you can use this for a dress. So if you want to use it for a dress, remember what you need is just your half length, which is from your waistline up, except you need it for a top. That is when you are getting the top length, right? So if you need it for a dress, just go ahead and add your seam allowance here and just take the rest of this way. But because this is a top and we are trying to create the bask effect, so we are going to, so it all depends. Now if you notice that you see a lot of people that draw theirs all the way from here to here. Now it depends, and when you do that, make sure that you're wearing something. Well, it depends on how you want to wear, because if you wear something lower, the rest of this part of your body will be showing. So if you do not want your body to show, you can just come down here by 3 inches. So I always do 3 inches, but you can do 2, you can do 1, you can do 1.5. It depends on how you want to rock your own. Do you understand? So here I'll come down from the waistline by 3 inches and I'll close here. Can you see? I'll close this dart here from the waistline, from the underbust, closed from the underbust, making sure that these 2 lines are meeting up. Can you see? The lines are meeting up. Close from the underbust, the dart, then you draw. Now it depends whether you are using the straight ruler to draw this or you want the curved one. Do you understand? So it all depends on what you want, but make sure you close your dart before you draw this. So also, if you also want to make use of the curve ruler, you are free to use your curve ruler to draw this. All depends on the style line you want on the waistline. So this is it. Remember I told you that the reason for this class is to show you how to tighten your yoke so that you will stop having gaping whenever you're making a keyhole style. So here, so what we are going to do now is the same thing we have here. So we are going to extend this dart upwards this way. Just extend the dart from here, from the overbust. Extend it. Can you see? Just extend the darts and you're okay. So here we are going to continue. So to draw the remaining part of this part, we are going to fold these darts from the bust point up. So close this dart this way and then continue. Can you see? So you open it up. So the next thing we are going to do now is to extend here by half an inch. Extend here by half an inch and mark. See, from here by half an inch, and you connect it into this part this way, and from here you also go up by half an inch. Can you see? Now, if you took your measurements correctly, like for me, I already know that my shoulder measurement is 16. So when I'm making this, I will not add this. See this, I will not add it. When I'm making my top, I don't add this. Do you understand? Because I know my accurate measurement. But whereby you're still struggling, you're not convinced of the shoulder measurements that you took, please go ahead and add this half inch. So I can still use this with it and it will not affect anything. But if you're very sure of what you took, please, there's no point adding this one. But for you not to like have problems with your client, so please, you can still go ahead and add it. If your measurement is accurate, it will not affect it badly in any way. And if your measurement is not accurate, if your shoulder measurement is not accurate, it will just help you to balance it up. Do you understand? So the next thing we are going to do now is our neckline. So where do you want the neckline to be? So for me, I'm going to be shifting to 4 inches. It depends on where you want. So you can see that this 4 inches is now resting on this shoulder slope, no longer on the straight line. So that is why it is important that you get your basic neckline first before plotting the actual neckline that you want. So here also depends on how wide you want it to be apart. I'm going to be doing half inch here so that when I open this up, the center will be 1 inch, and I'm going to connect this way. Remember, it depends on how far apart you want this place to be. Can you see? Now that I've done this, to plot out the keyhole, I'm going to close this up. So close this up, because we are going to eliminate it finally. We are closing it up finally. So we are closing up the darts you have here. You are closing up the dart you have here, and you're going to determine. Now, look at the first picture. You will notice that it is in form of this shape. Can you see? It's in form of like a triangle. So if you want that, go ahead. Now it depends on how high you want this part. If you want it to be as high up as this part, I hope you can see what I'm doing. If you want it to be as high up as this part, all depends on how you want to draw it. And if you want it to also be curved, the curved one, please go ahead and curve it. Do you understand? If you want it to be curved, please go ahead and make it curved. It all depends on how you want it. So let's use this very one. So let your creativity guide you. All depends on how you want it to be. And if you want it higher than this, you know, you can always feel free to go up, to go higher this way. Can you see? You are free to take it higher. So now that you have done this, we open it up this way. And here, see here, we are going to tighten it. So you close it this way and tighten the shoulder. So you come down from the shoulder by half inch. Come down from the shoulder by half inch and you draw this way. So guys, you can see this is it for the front. What we are going to do now is to cut it out. So to cut it out, first of all, we need to open here up for us to eliminate the bust dart. So go ahead and close up the bust dart. So when you close it, you use your tape to seal it up. And the next thing to do is to blend this line. You can see that it has shifted. So you blend it up again. And come here and blend here. Can you see what I'm doing? You blend here back. Blend to eliminate sharp points. So we are cutting this way. Remember that no allowance has been added to this. So when you want to transfer to fabric, you go ahead and add your necessary seam allowance. So for this part, before we cut it out, we are going to fold here up. So we are going to fold here. We pick up the dart and fold it. Of the day. So this is what we have for this side. Now we'll come to the dart. Remember, we said we are closing it up. It's not going to be here. So we close it up this way. Make sure you are folding only the dart, please. Then use your tape to seal it. Use your tape to seal it up. And here we have this. So remember, it depends on the shape, how wide and how tiny you want it to be. If you also want here to start from here, you are free. All you need to do is just to start from your neckline and connect into here. Just start from your neckline and connect into here. If you want the two yoke to be lapping each other, do you understand? So it depends on what you want. And if you want here to go high up this way to open further, all depends on what you want. So I'm going to cut here out. After cutting, this is what we have. So this is what we have here, as you can see. So do not forget that you came in from here by half an inch. So that is where, exactly on that half an inch is where you're going to put this. Can you see? So guys, this is the front part. After cutting, this is how it will look like. So when cutting out this front part, you know you are only cutting with only this part here, this way, just a single piece, right? So all you need to do is to cut here, unfold, add half inch here, your 1 inch on this side if you want your lining to be half an inch shorter than your main fabric. So you add 1 inch to the main fabric and add only half inch on the down part of the lining, so that the lining will be half an inch shorter. Then on this part here, you can add 2 inches for your seam allowance, but it depends on how much seam allowance you work with. So here too, you're adding 0.5, up 0.5, the armhole 0.5. So the armhole this way, you're adding another 0.5, and here you know you're going to turn it. So here you will need half inch like this. So on this one, you're adding half inch all round. This one, half inch. The half inch is going round this way. So here too, you're adding half inch because you're going to be turning the upper part with your line. So guys, for the back here, you can see I made room for the zipper allowance, which we are going to be attaching later, which we are going to be adding later. So here is my starting line, and here is the armhole depth, which is the bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 plus another 1, which is still the same thing as bust circumference divided by 6 plus 2.5. For the front, we use 1.5. For the back, we are always using 1 inch here, and this is the same 3 inches I did on the front for the basic neck width. So we are going to, for this back, we are going to divide what we have here by 2. You know, for the front, we only went off from here by 3, but for the back, divide by 2, make a mark on the midpoint, and from there you will go in by half an inch. Okay, before we rule this line here, we have not gotten out the complete line, pardon me. So this is our back waist length. So I'm using 16 inches for my back waist length here, and I use 18 for the front, which gave us the 2 inches we use for the dart, right? For the bust dart. So that's the essence of the bust dart, is to make the front and the back match. I've already added my back waist length. So to get the back under bust, we are not using the bust length, the bust point length for this. So, but we need the under bust and the top length. So what I'll do is to measure from my front waist length. I'll bring the front part and the center front part and measure from my front waist length to the under bust. So I have 3.5 here. So I'll go up from here by 3.5. Can you see? Go up by 3.5. And the full length, what do I have on the full length? I have 6 inches on the full length. From here to the full length is 6 inches. So I'll come down from here by 6 inches. Can you see? So this is my under bust. Now when we measure it, you see that it is 2 inches shorter than the front. So you can see front we did 24, here you can see we have 22 because of the difference on the waist length. Do you understand? So this is how to get it. Now before I continue, you know we are supposed to draw an armhole curve, which we have not done. So before we impute our bust circumference here, we are going to do our tightening. So I'm going in here by 1 inch. So it is between ½ inch to 1 inch. You can do half, can do 0.75, and you can do 1, but 1 inch is just perfect. So I'm using 1 inch. Now this 1 inch, I'll connect it down here from the waist length down to the hem, and here I'm just going up this way. Now we can begin to take all our measurements, and now this is no longer our center back. This new line now is now the new center back. So from this new line, I'm going to take my bust divided by 4. So I'm having 9.25, and I'll go ahead and complete the armhole side. So to draw my armhole curve, can you see? Now I'll go, before I start taking all other measurements, I'll get my dart. So the nipple divided by 2, I have 3.75, and you know we took 1 inch from here. So from here to here now will be 3.75 plus this 1 inch, that's 4.75. So I will start from here and take 4.75, and on the chest line here, we are going to extend this chest line this way. So on the chest line here, we are taking the same 4.75, and we connect a straight line. So after taking my dart, the next thing is to connect with a straight line to connect the points. And here I'll take 0.5 on both sides. So you can do 0.5, you can do 0.75. So 0.5, 0.5. And I'll come up here by 2 inches and connect this way. Can you see? So we are not cutting through this, we are going to sew it on the cloth. So what we are going to do next is to start taking our measurements. We have taken the bust measurement, so we'll take the under bust. Under bust we are working with is 31 divided by 4 is 7.75. So from this new line here, we'll take the 7.75 and also measure what we have here and replace it. On the waistline, we're working with 30, and that will be 7.5. We'll replace the 1 inch dart. Here we use 38, so 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. All we need to do is to connect. All we need to do is to come down from the waistline by 3 inches. Remember, for the front, we came down from the waistline by 3 inches. Or you can decide to place the side of your front this way, and with it, just merge up this waistline, and with it, you get where the point is. So it's still on that 3 inches, and we'll connect. So either you connect with your straight line or you connect with your curve ruler. Connect this way, and that is it. Next is for us to add the zipper allowance. So I'm working with zipper allowance of 1.5, so I'm adding 1.5 here, and from here 1.5, and here. So for the neckline here, I'll just come down by 2 inches, and remember that it can be deeper. And for the neck width, we use 4 inches. This is my 4 inches, and here we're using 2 inches. So I'll just connect this way. Can you see? And I'll continue with my 1.5 for the zipper allowance. So the same shape the back has is still the same shape the zipper allowance will take. the back cannot be curvy and the zipper allowance will be straight, please. So after this, you just go ahead and add all your necessary seam allowance. So right now I'm just going ahead to show you how to add your seam allowance to this part. So I added 1 inch to the down part, and by the side I added 2 inches. Note that it is subject to change. The side seam allowance you can add as much as you like. Then on the armhole, the shoulder and the neckline, you need to add ½ inch there to turn this with your lining. Hope you understand. And when you are cutting this out, your main fabric has 1 inch on the hemline, so that means that your lining fabric has to be ½ inch shorter than your main fabric. And remember that for the front we have not added anything to the front, so go ahead and add while transferring your patterns to fabric. So guys, here we have the back part, and these are the front pieces. Remember I told you that when you want to draft this, you do not need to put your pattern on fold. I only did this for the purpose of this illustration. Just need a single paper and you're okay with it. And while transferring the front part to fabric, just add the necessary seam allowances as we have already discussed. So thank you so much. So this is the front, this is the back. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to comment, like, and share. And if you're yet to join the family, please join us. Do where to join us by hitting on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so as to get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'll see you in my next class. I'm Modern Woman. Bye for now.